It is November 1847. In the center of Europe, a country famous today for peace is fighting its own civil war. Catholic cantons face a federal army. Foreign powers are watching. One reckless victory could invite intervention and tear the country apart. But the federal commander, Guillaume-Henri Dufour, gives an unusual order. Defeat the rebellion quickly. Protect civilians. Treat wounded enemies as fellow Swiss. The war ends within weeks. The defeated cantons are not erased. They are brought back into the Union. That decision reveals the real secret of Switzerland. It was not built because its people always agreed. It survived because they created a system in which nobody was allowed to win completely. But to understand how that system emerged, we need to return to the Alps before Switzerland had a name. More than 2,000 years ago, Celtic peoples, including the Helvetii, lived across much of the Swiss plateau. Rome absorbed the region and tied it together with roads, towns, trade and military routes. After Roman power collapsed, Germanic and Burgundian settlement helped create the linguistic divisions that still shape the country. By the Middle Ages, these valleys and towns belonged to the Holy Roman Empire. Yet imperial rule was often distant. Local communities managed pastures, courts, taxes and mountain routes themselves. The most valuable route was the Gotthard Corridor, connecting northern and southern Europe. Control of that passage meant money. It meant soldiers. It meant power. The rising Habsburg dynasty wanted tighter control, while the mountain communities wanted to preserve the privileges they already possessed. In August 1291, Uri, Schwitz and Unterwalden sealed a defensive charter. It did not create a modern nation. It created a promise: disputes would be managed internally, and outside domination would be resisted together. That promise contained the first Swiss paradox. Each valley distrusted the others, but all of them feared a powerful master more. The early confederacy survived because geography rewarded cooperation. In 1315, Habsburg forces moved toward the forest cantons near Morgarten. Later tradition describes an ambush in confined terrain, where mounted troops lost the freedom to maneuver and local infantry attacked from the heights and flanks. The exact numbers remain uncertain, but the political result does not. The Habsburg expedition failed, and the alliance became harder to dismiss. Lucerne joined, followed by Zurich, Glarus, Zug and Bern. By 1353, 8 cantons were connected through a web of overlapping agreements. Notice what they did not create. There was no Swiss king, no permanent capital, no single legal code and no powerful central government. The Confederacy was less like one state and more like a network of communities that promised to appear when danger arrived. That loose structure looked weak, yet on the battlefield it became an advantage. Cantons trained infantry drawn from local communities. Dense formations of pikes and halberds could resist armored cavalry. Rapid marches and knowledge of the terrain made Swiss forces increasingly dangerous. Victories at Sempach in 1386 and Naples in 1388 weakened Habsburg pressure. The heroic story of Arnold Winkelried opening a path through enemy spears became famous later, but it belongs to national legend rather than secure historical evidence. The verified pattern was already powerful enough. Ordinary infantry had learned to break aristocratic armies. By the late 15th century, the Confederates were no longer merely defending mountain valleys. They were changing European warfare. During the Burgundian Wars, Swiss-led forces defeated Charles the Bold's armies at Grandson and Morat. Charles was killed at Nancy in 1477, and Burgundy's independent power collapsed. Swiss infantry became one of Europe's most valuable military exports. Kings, popes and princes hired troops from the cantons. Foreign service carried money back into Swiss communities, but it also pulled them into conflicts far beyond the Alps. In 1499, victory in the Swabian War gave the Confederacy effective freedom from imperial courts, although formal recognition of independence came later. The Swiss appeared unstoppable. Then came Marignano. In September 1515, Swiss forces met the army of Francis I of France near Milan. French artillery, cavalry and German infantry helped stop the formations that had terrified Europe. The defeat did not instantly create Swiss neutrality, because history is rarely that clean. But it ended the Confederacy's great age of expansion. In 1516, the Cantons signed the perpetual peace with France. They had discovered a limit. Military power could protect their autonomy, but it could also destroy the balance holding the Cantons together. Almost immediately, a more dangerous enemy appeared not beyond the border, but inside it. The Protestant Reformation split the Confederacy. Zurich followed Huldrych Zwingli, while other cities adopted Protestant reforms. Many of the original forest cantons remained Catholic. The same communities that had fought together against the Habsburgs now disagreed over salvation, law, worship, and political power. Wars broke out around Kappel. Zwingli was killed in 1531. Yet the Confederacy did not become religiously uniform. It did something more difficult. It allowed different cantons to remain different. This was not modern tolerance. Confessional conflict continued, minorities faced restrictions, and peace remained imperfect. But no faction could permanently conquer the entire system. That is the hidden cause of Swiss survival: institutionalized distrust. Catholic cantons distrusted Protestant cities. Rural communities distrusted urban elites. Small cantons distrusted large ones. Everyone distrusted foreign rulers. So power remained divided. The Peace of Westphalia recognized Swiss independence from the Holy Roman Empire in 1648, but the Confederacy remained decentralized and vulnerable. In 1798, French armies invaded and imposed the centralized Helvetic Republic. The experiment produced resistance and instability. Napoleon's act of mediation restored much of the cantonal structure in 1803. After Napoleon's fall, the European powers recognized Switzerland's permanent neutrality in 1815. But neutrality alone did not make a nation. In 1847, 7 conservative Catholic cantons formed the Sonderbund. Federal forces defeated them under General Dufour. The victors then made the decision that defined modern Switzerland. They did not abolish the cantons. In 1848, they created a federal constitution strong enough to hold the country together, yet limited enough to preserve cantonal power. The world was told that Switzerland was united by sameness. The reality was the opposite. Switzerland became durable because disagreement was built into the state. The new federal system did more than prevent another civil war. It created a country with a national parliament and government, while preserving local authority. Later reforms expanded democratic participation through referendums and popular initiatives. In 1863, a Geneva committee that included Henry Dunant founded what became the International Committee of the Red Cross. 1 year later, the First Geneva Convention established protections for wounded soldiers. Swiss neutrality was becoming more than self-defense. It became political infrastructure. A country that avoided military alliances could host negotiations, humanitarian organizations, and international institutions. Switzerland stayed outside both world wars, but neutrality never meant innocence. During the Second World War, the country defended its independence and sheltered many refugees. Its banks and businesses also dealt with Nazi Germany, while Swiss authorities rejected many people fleeing persecution. That contradiction matters. Neutrality is not moral purity. It is a policy whose value depends on how it is used. After the war, Switzerland gradually increased its international involvement. It joined the Council of Europe in 1963 and the United Nations in 2002. It remains outside the European Union, while maintaining close economic and political connections with its neighbors. Today, the deeper Swiss lesson is not simply, never choose a side. It is this: build institutions strong enough to contain people who choose different sides. Most countries celebrate unity. Switzerland survived by managing division. The alliance of 1291 did not reveal a finished nation. It began a long experiment. Farmers defeated knights. Mercenaries served kings. Catholics fought Protestants. Napoleon imposed unity. A civil war finally produced a federation. Switzerland did not escape history. It learned how to prevent every conflict from becoming the last one. If this story deserved to be uncovered, help War Draft find the next one. Next time, we examine how Europe's most feared infantry became the guards of the Pope and the soldiers of foreign kings.